Hello, everybody, and welcome to what is the second to last race of this season in the Mars Truck Series. Today we're at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the new Atlanta Motor Speedway. Last season, this race was a lot of fun. Came down to fuel mileage. So we'll see what happens this race as we watch Wesley. We got 45 seconds to go left in practice, and then they'll get qualifying. I think our biggest story right now is the points leader, which we'll look at real quick. There it is right there. You see your points leader is Austin Smith. Austin is not in the session. He just got in the session. There he is. So he just made it out. So I was going to say it would be tough for him to qualify late, or to not qualify at all, have to start in the back, but he is going to make it. Let's look at the rest of our standings real quick. We got Austin, Wesley, Brandon, Corey, Joshua, Jarrett, Casey Gross, Caleb McKinney, Ian Campbell, Alex Campbell, Michael Smith, Wayne Garland, and Gary Donnellan. So we've got 2 races left. I'd say a 10 to 15 points you can make up. So with that being said, we've got about 6 guys that are theoretically still in the running here. Jarrett Larder, he really needs a win. Joshua Neal, he'll need a win tonight. Those 2 guys, if they want to go in with a good chance next week, they'll need to get a win tonight. Corey Kroll is hanging on just barely. He's really another one of those guys that needs to win. Brandon Puffenbarger, Wesley Triplett, and Austin Smith are really tight going in. It's a 4-point race for the lead. So tonight's going to be huge. It's going to be huge for everybody. With it being tight racing, you got to be really careful. There's no fast repairs, guys. So, you don't want to wreck your chances at a championship, but you don't know because you don't want to finish in the back and, lose the lead, and you know how it is. So. All right. Looks like we got Wesley Triplett out to qualify. He's not wasting any time. Let's ride along with him. Maybe trying to save some tires or whatnot. Yeah, so it looks like Wesley's going to do a second lap, hot lap. He's at 160 miles an hour right now. Looks like he's going to stick about, so the turns in these trucks alone, they're running about 160, 170 in the turns. Wayne Garland's out there. He's a little bit quicker. But let's ride along with Wesley here, see how close he gets up to that wall. Look at that, running right up next to it. Wesley's second place in the season right now. He's 4 points back behind Austin Smith. So the win tonight will put him in the lead going into Auto Club. So this is obviously a very important race for these guys with how tight it is. Goes all the way down. He's going to try and get a little bit of extra grip off that red line. Not quite. Wayne Garland runs your quickest lap first. He's a 31.9. As Wesley comes across for his second lap, let's see what he can do. It's going to be a 31.4 for Wesley Triplett. 31.4. Wayne Garland's coming around for his second lap. Uh-oh. Austin Smith. He's on his second lap right now. His first lap, was a 31.59, a tenth behind the leaders. Wayne Garland runs a 31.49, his second time by. And as Austin comes to the stripe here, let's see what he has across the line. It's going to be a 31.57. Identical from his last. Jarrett Larder's up here. He's running his second lap right now. Excuse me, actually, I think Jarrett Larder's done. Practicing a pit stop. Who else do we have on the track? We got Corey Kroll coming to the stripe. His first time by was a 31.85. Must have been running that top lane. Let's see what he can do here. Goes all the way down to the grass, across the stripe. It's going to be P1 with a 31.46 hot lap for Corey Kroll. If you remember about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I said this is the guy to win tonight. He's starting in a good spot. But, you know, man, with Corey's big thing is saving fuel. So I don't know if he wants to be in the lead. To drop back is going to be dangerous to go all the way from first to the back. But you never know. We got Daniel Honeycutt. He just finished his second lap. It's going to be a 31.54 for Daniel Honeycutt. Watch Michael Smith come around. Michael Smith is on his second lap. We're on a 31.69. The leaders run a 31.46. Michael's coming out of turn 4 right now, coming to the stripe for his lap 2 hot lap. Doesn't go quite down as far as Corey does. Let's see what he runs. 31.53. So all these guys are really, really close. I think the matter was is Corey went all the way down to that grass. Caleb McKinney, he's been fast all year, goes all the way down. That's a 31.48. That's tied for second. That's going to be third place for Caleb McKinney. Brandon Puffenbarger's coming to the stripe this time. This will be his first lap. Well, let me just do something real quick. I think we might be. Oh, it says we're there, so. We've got 6 people in the chat, or 6 people on the video. Who do you think is going to win? Who's your pick to win tonight? It can't be Corey. That was my pick. That's cheating. I'd say, looking back at super speedways, Corey's a good pick. Brandon's a good pick. Austin's a good pick if Austin can stay out of trouble. I like Casey Gross tonight. The guy who won this last time, I'm not seeing him. Corey Blevins. Corey Blevins is a good pick tonight if you're looking for a super speedway winner. Joshua Neal says he needs a win. Okay, we can root for some Joshua Neal. I believe he's one of those guys we said really needs a win tonight. Let's double check the standings real fast. Joshua is in 5th right now. He's about 14 points back. So, yeah, Josh, man, a win would do numbers for you tonight. We'll be rooting for you up here in the booth. But like Joshua was thinking, there's 3 or 4 guys that need a win. It'd be interesting to see what they're willing to do to get that tonight. Second place is 5 less points. So, especially if, you have Austin or one of those top 3 guys in the lead. 4th, 5th, 6th, really going to have to, they need to get in front of those guys or it'll be really hard to win going into Auto Club next week. Looks like we've got about 3 minutes left in qualifying. We still have a few guys out. Alex Campbell joins the party. He's coming to the stripe for his first time by, this time by. I like the paint scheme for Alex tonight. He's got in the Bass Pro stripes. We still have quite a few guys that have yet to qualify. Looking like Casey Gross, Johnny Thunders, Cameron Combs, and Alex Campbell. All those guys have not qualified. Chance Manning, I don't know if he's racing tonight, but he's yet to qualify. Looks like Alex was doing a little bit of, let's see if he cuts it all the way down. He does not. See, doesn't cut down very far there. Wraps that bottom, so he's going to try for a lap 1 hot lap. Excuse me, this is his second lap. First time by was a 32.35. He's a second off the pace. See if he can make that time up. He's going 175. Fastest guy in qualifying was Caleb McKinney, ran at 182 miles an hour, but he was a 31.48. Alex goes way down to the bottom. This might be a hot lap. That is. It's 31.47, ties him for second. He'll be second in qualifying. Corey Kroll still up front with a 31.46. Top speed 176 for Alex Campbell. Just in the nick of time. We've got about a minute and a half to go. Do we have anybody else on the track? No one else is on track at this time. Looks like Paul Buchanan was gonna qualify and he pitted. I don't know what's going on there. Yet to pit: Casey Gross, Johnny Thunders, Paul Buchanan, Cameron Combs. If those guys do not pit, they'll run off in that order that I just said. Not sure we have any EOLs or any penalties from last race. We're not going to have any restart penalties because we didn't have a restart. We're not going to have any choose cone penalties because we didn't have a single one. That's right. Last week we went green flag to checkered flag. No yellows throughout the whole race last week. It was nice. It was nice to see some pit strategy. I doubt that happens again tonight, though. If it does, that'd be super cool. We went green last season for quite a while because I remember it came down to pit strategy. We had about 5 guys, the top 4 or 5 ran out of fuel. I think Wesley might have got the win. I'm not for sure. I don't remember. But anyways, it all came down to fuel saving. Somebody was in the back second pack. It kind of split up into 2 packs last season. Somebody was in that second pack, just kind of half throttle, while the 4 or 5 of us were up there wasting gas, and all 5 of us ran out of gas. And that dude in 5th or 6th won the race. I just can't remember who it was. All right, it's about time to grid here. Corey Kroll's going to be your pole winner. And we'll wait for them to grid up here. And we'll get ready to call a race. Got 108 laps tonight. I do not know what they can do on a fuel run because, you know, a lot of it depends on where they are in the pack. So we're not even going to mess with that. One thing we can look at real quick while we wait is look at this track temp. Actually, they're starting to grid up. So let's go ahead. And look at our grid. Starting in first place is going to be Corey Kroll, Alex Campbell. Second row is going to be Brandon Puffenbarger, Wesley Triplett. Third row is going to be Caleb McKinney and Jarrett Larder. Starting in 7th in the 4th row is going to be Wayne Garland and Corey Blevins. 5th row, Michael Smith, Daniel Honeycutt. Starting in 11th on the 6th row is going to be Joshua Neal, Austin Smith. Chance looks like he is going to race tonight. Maybe. I'm not seeing Chance Manning. So, looking like starting 13th and 14th is going to be Cameron Combs, Casey Gross. And to round out your field tonight is going to be Johnny Thunders and Paul Buchanan. Let's get see if we can't get Corey Kroll in here real quick to get his interview done. Hey, Corey, this is Nate up in the booth. You got a copy?
What's going on?
Hey, man, a few weeks ago I said I thought you were going to win this race. You're starting real good. How'd you feel about that qualifying run?
Well, I was in a brief talking to one of the new gentlemen that's racing with us, and we determined that during qualifying we were going to allow that you could cut the dog leg or the apron there, just not during the race. Just we weren't able to push that out to everybody, I guess. So we've seen a lot of people doing it. I thought everybody kind of got the hint, but I don't know. It was a good lap. Just I don't know. Maybe it wasn't the best. And I wish I would have just stayed up above the line, though.
All right, man. You got 108 laps here to stay out of trouble. What are you going to do to make it to the finish?
Just be patient. Just let it come to me.
All right,
see
Corey.
where it is at the end.
Best of luck, man. We'll be rooting for you up here.
All right, thanks, man.
And that was your pole sitter, Corey Kroll. Let's get that grid off the screen so you can see. All right, they're in 3 and 4, coming around to a green flag. The truck's going to go off of turn 4, go into the pit lane. And we'll be going green flag racing. We're going to start with this blimp so we can see everything that happens early on, and then we'll go down to a different view. Uh-oh, Corey's blinking. Keep those eyes open, Corey. There goes the pace truck. This first one's going to be on the green flag. Corey does not have control. The flagman has the control. There's your green flag. Brandon Puffenbarger gives Corey a good push out to the front. Looking like they're going to go pretty even for the first 4 or 5 rows. Caleb McKinney, Wayne Garland trying to get up there. Wesley Triplett's going to be leading that outside row. We'll see if Brandon Puffenbarger stays behind Corey. Corey tries to float up a little bit. Looks like that's what everybody's going to do. And here comes a run from that outside led by Wesley Triplett. Looking a little squirmy. What is our track temp today? The biggest thing we'll be able to see with that track temp is just if these cars are slippery or not. Track temp looks like it's going to be a 83 degrees. Not too bad at all. These guys should have plenty of grip. Because Wesley's going to make a run on the outside. He's going to get even with Corey going in to turn 1 here. Jarrett Larder behind him, followed by Corey Blevins on the outside. That's your top 3 on the outside. Brandon Puffenbarger is going to drop out of this. He's going to go to the back. Corey's going to stay up tight, but that's going to kill that inside run. Wesley Triplett is going to go down. Jarrett Larder is going to follow him. As we look a little further back, it's looking pretty even. Look at that 15 at Cameron Combs. That's a nice paint scheme he brought this week. Big push to Corey Blevins from Daniel Honeycutt. Looks like Daniel can't quite decide if he wants to stay up top or fill in on the bottom, get behind Corey Kroll. Looks like he's going to stay up top for now. Jarrett might be out. Looks like Jarrett's going to go down to the bottom. Wesley Triplett, Corey Kroll are going to stay up top. As they're 3 wide further back, we've got Cameron Combs back here 3 wide with Austin Smith and Wayne Garland. Austin's going to, he looks like he's just stuck in the middle. They're checking up further back. Whoa! Alex Campbell's about to lose it. There he goes. He catches it. He's going to go on to the back, though. Hopefully he's able to stay on to the draft. Jarrett Larder, Wesley Triplett, and Corey Kroll are 3 wide for the lead on lap 5. Cameron's going to get into the wall a little bit, and then it looks like he might be in some trouble. Corey Kroll's going to stay up top with his drafting partner. Wesley Triplett, that's going to give him a little bit better of a run in that middle. Looks like they almost went 4 wide there. Cameron backed off a little bit. Wesley has 0 help. Looks like if he doesn't get some help fast, he might fall back. Daniel Honeycutt's in the wall. As everybody squirms around, tries to get past. That sends Daniel Honeycutt way back, as you can see. It looks like Brandon Puffenbarger, Alex Campbell, Paul Buchanan, they're kind of just sitting in the back waiting. Which it looks like these guys are doing okay, though. We've got some pretty aggressive racing up here towards the front, though. Corey Kroll's still going to be in the lead, followed by Cameron Combs. Austin Smith made his way up to the front. Sometimes the safest place to be, guys, is in the front when you got pack racing like this. It's hard to get caught up in a wreck when you're in front of the wreck. Austin Smith dives down to the bottom in front of Jarrett Larder. Let's see if Jarrett Larder gives him a push here. Looks like Jarrett Larder's going to look underneath him. As we heard Corey say, they could go under the yellow or under the red line in qualifying. You are not allowed to during the race. Cameron's going to push Corey in the middle of the turn. Looks like Austin is going to get the same from Jarrett Larder. Daniel Honeycutt might be trying to start a 3rd lane up there. Austin Smith's looking like he's trying to poke down. Wesley Triplett's not going to let him down. Austin gets a good run on the inside, and Austin is the new leader of this race. Is he able to make it stick? That outside has a lot of help. Corey, looks like Corey's going to lead the lap. I don't have any time to look away. I can't look at any of the stats. Biggest mover of the race is going to be the 15 of Cameron Combs. He's been up 11 spots. Austin Smith not far behind him, going up 10 spots. Best safety rating in the field tonight is going to be Corey Kroll with a 4.99. And your best I rating is going to be Wesley Triplett with a 3,300. Looks like they were even that time across the stripe. It's still going to go to Corey. Is that outside lane starting to hollow out? There's about 3 guys up there. And then it goes on further back. People might be trying to get in fuel save mode. Alex Campbell's going to pop his head up a little bit. He goes down. Looks like he's trying to get in front of Wayne Garland. You just can't quite get there. Do we only have one of the Garland guys tonight? Looks like it. I only see one Garland car. Alex does get in front of Wayne there. And Cameron Combs is staying locked onto that bumper of Corey Kroll. Jarrett Larder trying to do the same with Austin Smith. Let's see what happens down the back. Both of them don't really have all that good of help. Cameron's going to get into the wall. That's going to be good for the inside line. As they go into 3 and 4 even, that might allow Austin Smith to get up. And he's clear up top if he wants it. Looks like he thinks about it. He is going to slide up front. He's going to put a block on Corey Kroll. Does he stay up front? That's going to send a little check. They're going to go 3 wide. That checks up the outside line. Caleb McKinney might want to get down while he can. Looks like he might be going backwards. He does get down. Jarrett almost clears. Austin's going to go back up top. That's going to clear Jarrett Larder. Now Jarrett Larder's going to make a run on it. He's on the inside. Jarrett pokes his nose out. He doesn't quite get clear of Austin Smith, but Austin has no help up top. The help's on the bottom. Here comes Corey back. Now their help's about even, but Jarrett might be able to clear Austin here. Jarrett's clear. Let's see what he decides to do going into going onto the backstretch. He stays down low with Wesley Triplett. Big help coming up top. There's going to be 3 cars. Austin gets a big run on the outside. They're even. He should shoot out here on the front stretch. As they're 2 wide all the way back to Brandon Puffenbarger. And there's that run. You just see how well built that outside line is compared to, it looks like Michael Smith about lost it on the inside. And Austin is going to be able to retake this lead. Big push from Wesley Triplett. It's just not quite going to be enough. Austin's going to go down in front of Jarrett Larder. Jarrett's going to push him. That checks everybody up. I wonder if Austin didn't get a little too far out. Let's see what he decides to do here. The help's on the top. Help's on the top. Let's see. He's going to let Corey Kroll take that run. That's probably a good business decision on lap 15. Corey Kroll's going to get way clear here. Big push coming from Cameron Combs. Corey Kroll's not quite able to slide down. He's going to have to stay up top. Let's ride along with the 15 of Cameron Combs just so you can see how tight this racing is. As he's pushed him clear, you see that temp rising. He's just kind of hoping that Corey does exactly that, so he can get some clean air on that car. Hopefully, get those temps down. Ooh, now Corey goes back up. Cameron Combs is going to stay on the bottom, try and take the lead here, but he has no help. The help's up top with Austin Smith. Jarrett Larder looks like he backed out. We might have missed something. Now he's just doing everything he can to maintain this draft. If you lose the draft here, you might be in some trouble. As Paul Buchanan's trying to pass him, he might just want to tuck behind him until they can catch up. Corey Kroll's your leader, followed closely by Austin Smith. As I say that, Austin's going for a pass here. Now Cameron Combs looks to the bottom, but he had a little bit of contact with Austin Smith. That's going to kill his run. We've got a 5-car breakaway. It looks like Johnny Thunders is in 6th. He's coming up trying to join the party. Wayne Garland in tow. On further back, you've got Alex Campbell and Wesley Triplett. Big push from Wesley Triplett. That's going to send Alex Campbell off the track. How does Alex rejoin? Does he rejoin all right? Not really. It looks like he's really struggling. There's his teammate Jarrett Larder. Alex Campbell might lose the draft here, especially if they go side by side like this. Paul's going to let Alex by. Hopefully they can get tucked in. Looking at a speed here. They're quicker. They're going to catch them. That was 186 down the backstretch in a truck. average is about 180. So we look here, Cameron Combs is going to make his run at a lead. We got the 77 car of Casey Gross, who's made an appearance. All these guys right here started in the back, minus Corey Kroll, who was your pole sitter. But let's check on Joshua Neal. Joshua Neal, you see his comment, he wanted to finish up. He's running in 13th right here, kind of just buying some time. He's sitting in the back trying to play the long game. That's where Joshua Neal is, if you're wondering. They're still even. So it settled down for about 3 laps. We're on lap 21 on 108. Should be coming pretty close to pits. I do not know what the pit window looks like. We're going to figure it out together. Big push from Corey Kroll. He tries to get some clean air on that truck. He floats way up. Wonder if that wasn't some tire wear. Looks like Caleb McKinney's going to poke his nose on the bottom. Corey Kroll's got to be careful here, not slide up too much, because Caleb might fill that spot. They get really close first and second here. That's Cameron Combs, Austin Smith. If Austin Smith gets a win tonight, he'll be looking really good. Have about a 9-10 point lead going into Auto Club. So he cannot quite clinch a championship tonight, but he can get pretty dang close to it. Big push from Corey Kroll on the outside. That's going to clear Cameron Combs. We'll see what Cameron decides to do here. Looks like he's going to stay up top. The help is on the outside. Really, there's not really an advantage right now. As they go down the backstretch, there's your view. This helps up top. Caleb McKinney looks like he might have let off a little bit. They're going to be even going down into 3 and 4. Helps on the bottom with Casey Gross and Austin Smith, so they should be about even coming off. All right, with that, let's do a crank it up with Corey Blevins. All right, we check back. Looks like Michael Smith thought about making him a run. Joshua Neal's getting up close. All these guys that were coming in saving fuel, it looks like they're back. So you say that, you think that Pitton has to get close here. Austin Smith, Corey Kroll still side by side for first place. We've been side by side for 27 laps, though. No incident. That's a good sign. Brandon Puffenbarger back there. Looks like he's starting to think about coming up. But right now, it is a Corey Kroll and Austin Smith show. Cameron Combs up there, he's doing really good. Looks like he fell. He did let that position go to Caleb McKinney at some point. Wesley Triplett got up there and battled for a minute. He's back in 6th right now. Big push from Cameron Combs. It looks like Caleb McKinney lets off. He does not give Corey Kroll a push. And one thing that, you can kind of hint at when you're looking at green flag stops is watch that outside line trickle away. Everybody starts filling in. So we still have people jumping up there. But, I mean, we've went 30 laps. So they cannot last that much longer, surely. Wayne Garland's in the wall. Cameron Combs does get on the inside of Caleb McKinney, makes it 3 wide for a second, gets out in front, gets back in that pusher spot. Big push from Cameron Combs here to Corey Kroll. That's going to give him a good run. Should have a very good run coming on the outside if the help stays, which it does not look like it's going to. There's the help. There's the push. There's the run. I like this view. Let me know if you don't, and I'll start doing a different view. But this way we can see everything that's going on. You know, sometimes when you go to one of these, you can't really see the whole pack. It's harder to call races this way, at least. This, I can see everybody. But it's tight. From first to last place is 2 seconds. We look up Jarrett Larder. Go back to Jarrett Larder here, and looks like these guys are just barely hanging on. This is Jarrett Larder and Alex Campbell. They might be playing some strategy here. As Corey Kroll falls back. Looks like he got a little loose, gets out of the groove. He's in the wall. And he might be falling straight to the back. He's about 10 miles an hour off the pace, about 20 miles an hour off the pace. And let's go back and see what happened to him. So it looks like exactly that. He just gets up in the wall here. Doesn't quite stick. Cameron Combs shoots that gap on the bottom, and he just lets him by. He didn't want any part of it once that gap got shot. We look now, it looks like he's going to rejoin in 11th. Cameron Combs is now in where what was Corey Kroll. We're still too wide here. Austin Smith doesn't want to give up that lead. I bet they have 3 sets of tires in the pits. Not that I don't really think the tire wear is going to matter all that much. They've lost about 8 tenths so far in speed, about 8 tenths. So almost a second has fallen off. Probably about half a second, really. There goes Austin Smith. Austin Smith's going into pit, and he brings a slew of people with him. Oh, we've got a wreck. Wesley Triplett, Michael Smith, they hit each other on the pit road. That is going to bring out the caution. Caution's out. And the Midwest Motorsports team, oh no, Wesley Triplett, second place. So let's go back and see what happens. It looked like Wesley decided to pit late, and he just locked it up. Now you see that rear end damage that he has. All right, so there's your first indication of a pit. Let's go to the blimp. We can really get a good view of this. Austin's going to be speeding. So they are going to have some penalties to serve. They might go a lap down here serving penalties. If I were them and you get a penalty here, you might want to just drive through, come back. So looks like the only people that were safe there was Wayne Garland and Casey Gross. Or, excuse me, Wayne Garland and Michael Smith. Let's go look at Austin here, see if he got a penalty. This is how we're going to figure out. Keep going back, keep going back, keep going back. Oh, yeah, he was speeding. So we look live here. Now we have a lot of guys coming in. So your points leader, your championship leader, gets a speeding on pit road on lap 35. Wesley Triplett gets involved in an accident. Those are your top 2 guys. Brandon Puffenbarger, he's doing fine. He's pitting right now. I'm going to... Looks like some of these guys might be getting some damage fixed potentially. Wesley's going to sit here for a second, get some of his damage fixed. Michael Smith looks like he's going to look at potentially he does go a lap down. Michael Smith is 1 lap down, maybe 2 laps down. He is. Michael Smith goes 2 laps down. Austin Smith is coming out right now. He is going to be on the lead lap. So he gets his penalty served. He's on the lead lap. Corey's on the lead lap. And Wesley are all on the lead lap. So that's good for them. All right, so there's your answer. It's about 35 to 36 laps on a fuel run. Now, we'll have to wait and see. So I bet we get about 35 lap run here if it goes green. With the update now, we'll be choosing next time by. Oh, they might have chose that time by. They did. We missed it. So Corey's going to take the outside here. Austin takes the outside. A lot of people taking the outside line. It looks like they made the right decision with how this is going. So, your Midwest Motorsports crew tries to quick pit. About 4 out of 5 of them are speeding. And so now, we're going to rack it up, try it again with about 80 laps to go maybe. I don't know. I can't do math. 70 laps to go. So, everybody's careful here. We can make it on 1 stop. It's going to be close. You got to be savvy with your fuels, with your fuel saving. So it's going to be looking like we're going to be trying to make it to about lap 75, lap 80s, where we should see some guys start coming in. Anything before that would be a little too soon. Look at that outside line. There's the green led by Caleb McKinney and Daniel Honeycutt on the inside. Michael Smith really stalls back. That truck might be off the pace. It's looking like that might be the case. Looks like Corey's going to try and pick him up. He ends up going on the inside of him. Yeah, something's off with the 45 car of Michael Smith. As they're 3 wide passing him, he is way off the pace. Looks like he might have got a little bit of engine damage. We saw him smacked into the pit road. It's looking like this one's much more laid back as Alex Campbell's on the inside. Daniel Honeycutt's going to be your leader. Corey Blevins on the outside. Let's go to our favorite view. Jarrett Larder's going to get out of this. He's going to the back. See if Alex Campbell tries to make a move here, if he just stays back. We've ran 41 laps for this 108 lap race. There he goes. Alex Campbell jumps out. Looks like he about lost it. I don't know. It's about the 3rd time that's happened to him tonight. Looks like Michael Smith is going to be able to just barely hang on to the back of that pack. He is in the lucky dog spot for now, so these 2 guys might be in some trouble. Looks like they are going to be able to hang on to that pack. So we go back to the front, see what's happening. We got 44 of Paul Buchanan. We have not seen him run up front. He's up here. Daniel Honeycutt's up here. Corey Blevins, and one guy that's been up here the whole time is Caleb McKinney. Brandon Puffenbarger, he's stuck in the middle of the pack right now. Looks like he's going to try and make some moves. And then there's a split. There's Corey Kroll, Austin Smith. All those guys are hanging back a little bit. Corey Kroll, Austin Smith, Joshua Neal, Alex Campbell, and Jarrett Larder. Michael Smith's with those guys. I don't know if they're trying to make up or not. It's looking to me like if we look on the blimp, big checkup on the inside. Looks like they might just kind of be chilling out. Corey's running he's running at 174. Those guys up top are running at 180. So I think they're kind of just playing the cards, you know, in case there is a wreck. Those guys are able to check up. We check on Wesley Triplett in 9th place. This is him. Looks like that damage he was able to fix. If we look at the chase, let's look at Chopper. Yeah, I think he got all that damage fixed on his car. Another checkup from the inside. Again, these guys know that they're too wide up here. They might be trying to save fuel. One more stop, they should be able to make it to the end, so maybe. It'll be super close. It'll be super, super close. If they can make it 35 laps on a fuel run, they went running about 40. That should put them at 75. It's going to be super close. They need to be saving fuel if they want to make it. But this should make it interesting. Last season, it went down to fuel mileage. Is this one going to be the same? One person I want to check on is Corey Crowles. He's the fuel mileage king in this league. There he goes. He's just kind of putting the car where he can. Keeping that thing in as much of an aerodynamic advantage as he can. Doesn't want to get it out in open air. Wants to keep it tucked in. Doesn't really want to get too wide because he doesn't want any kind of side draft or anything like that coming onto his car. Go back to that gyro. Look at the banking on this new Atlanta track. I think it's 28 in the corners. As we look a little further up, Cameron Combs is going to take him 3 wide. Johnny Thunder says he wants no part of that, and he backs out. Let's see what Cameron does down here. Looks like he thinks about shooting the gap in the middle, decides against it. Now he's going to go up top with no help. Cameron Combs really wants to be the leader of this race. With that, though, he has 0 help. They're getting a little squirmy up here. He almost runs into the wall there. Corey Blevins is going to shoot down to the bottom. That's going to leave really no help for these top 2 outside that are fighting for the first position on the outside. And look at that. That just steamrolls the inside lane. Caleb McKinney says, really, dude? Why'd you do that? But look on further back, and there's really no help coming. Because there they even out. There's going to be a 3-car run on the outside against about 7 cars on the inside. There's no help second on back, though. As we'll see what Buchanan decides to do on position 3. Looks like he's going to stay on that inside. He might be playing the fuel mileage game. Daniel Honeycutt's going to stay on the bottom. And Corey Blevins has made himself a little far out there. As we look on up, big run from the outside, Caleb McKinney and Cameron Combs. He's going to clear him. I just don't know if he's going to shoot the gap. One guy who will shoot the gap is that guy that's behind him, though, so he needs to be careful here. Cameron's clear on the bottom, so he might be trying to. Let's see what happens. Caleb McKinney goes high. Right in front of Cameron Combs. Looks like they have to check up a little bit. No help really on the bottom. Let's see if Cameron shoots the gap. He does not. Caleb McKinney's going to kind of run in the middle. Cameron Combs is going to get up just far enough to where I don't think that Caleb's going to be able to come back down. Come back up, excuse me. Johnny Thunders is coming up. Wesley Triplett's going to come fill in that 3rd spot so this outside line can get a little more help. They're going to be even coming down the backstretch. Cameron Combs should get a pretty good run off this front, but you look how condensed that bottom line is. They should get plenty fast here, too. It's looking like a difference of 1 mile an hour to the outside. So now they're even. Cameron Combs helps drifting up the track. That's going to be good for that bottom line. Let's go back and check on Joshua Neal. He's still running in 11th, just playing that long game. It's getting pretty feisty up here. Wesley Triplett's going to take Johnny Thunders 3 wide as it looks like Johnny's trying to get out. Oh, he hits the wall. He gets into Wayne Garland. I was going to check the rest of these guys up. I don't think he's going to get any damage from that. But that sends Johnny Thunders out of the race for now. He will be able to rejoin and be fine, though. Looks like Wayne Garland's truck's fine. He's running in 6th right now. Biggest mover of the race is Cameron Combs. He's about 13 spots. And a tough break. Goes to Corey Kroll right now in 15th, but no need to fear. If I know Corey, he's playing the fuel mileage game, so just wait till we get on that fuel, where we see where they pit, and then we'll know what's going on with Corey. Still pretty even here. Cameron Combs is going to have a little bit of an advantage, but nothing to write home about. He needs some help. If those guys on the top, if they want that lane to work, look, it's plenty fast all day. It's fast enough to maintain. If you want to get out in front, he's going to need some help. He's really floating that truck. Really, really floating that truck. I don't know if he's trying to say tires or what, but our first 4 rows are too wide. And then on, let's say, Austin Smith's in 10th, all the way back to Corey Kroll back in 15th is going to be, really all the way back to Michael Smith, who's a lap down, is going to be single file. So you've got about 10 cars that are going too wide and about 5 that are saying, I don't want any part of it. As we look back at these front guys, Wesley Triplett's going to be your leader on that outside. Cameron Combs does get up to the front. He fills back up for Wesley. Wesley's going to have a great big run when Cameron goes back to the bottom. If he does, looks like he's not going to do it in time. He's going to give Caleb a little bit, but I think Cameron's going to be able to make clear of him when he gets back if the help's there, which is not. So Caleb McKinney still has the run on the inside. 4 cars now on the outside. You've got Cameron Combs, Wesley Triplett, Wayne Garland, and Casey Gross. A little bit of contact between Corey Blevins and Casey Gross there. Casey might need to worry here because it looks like there's some checkups on the inside. He might get stranded out there. Cameron Combs, Wayne Garland, Casey Gross on the outside, Wesley Triplett on the inside. Wayne shoots the gap on the bottom. That's going to leave 2 guys up front. I don't know what happened on the bottom, but it's a big checkup. Cameron Combs is going to go up top with Casey Gross here. Not a lot of help on the inside, but I mean, there's 2 cars up on the outside. So with how it's looking right now, they might be able to slide on past Wayne Garland in first place. Wesley's going to come give Wayne a push. Big push going into the turn. That's going to be really beneficial for those top 2 in that bottom lane. Everybody else looks like they might be slaving some fuel. We're on lap 60, so I don't think they're close to a fuel change or anything. They've ran 21 laps, or 20 laps on this, so they should have about 15 more laps, which will put them about right where they need to be. They need to be saving 2 or 3 laps of fuel to make it to the end. So you just never know. Part of me thinks that these guys down here don't want to be in the lead. Wesley Triplett on back. They're just sitting there saving some fuel all the way back. And then you've got 2 cars up front. Maybe they're not paying attention to it. Maybe they're not worried about it. But single file like this, you know, your only chance of a caution really comes from people pitting. So you just never know. Wayne Garland's still battling these top 2. Casey Gross and company has almost made it clear. Cameron Combs might shoot down low, which is really going to mess up Casey Gross here. Here comes the rest of that pack. And there he goes. Cameron goes to the bottom. And he goes way up top. That's going to open the door for Wayne Garland. If you think maybe these two are working together. Casey Gross thinks about going down, but decides against it. Here comes some more help in the form of Johnny Thunders on that top lane. Johnny Thunders just coming up, looking like he might try to help these guys get a little more clear of Wayne Garland. Wayne Garland is in your lead. Has not won a Mars race. Could tonight be Wayne's night where he breaks that barrier? It gets in the winner's circle. Check on further back, and it's much of the same story, just people saving fuel. Corey Kroll right where he needs to be. Everybody else is kind of doing the same thing. These guys up front aren't caring about that. But these guys behind them are liking what they're seeing, because them racing side by side like this are allowing them to save more fuel. They don't have to go as fast. Cameron's going to get clear of Wayne here. We'll see what he does. He stays up top. Let's go to a different camera here. Let your eyes look at something else. And there you see it. There you see the picture. We've got 3 cars up front on that outside line. Everybody else is filled down to that bottom. Much of the same. I'm not seeing anybody come up anytime soon. They might try right before pits. Austin's running around doing something in the back. I don't know what Austin's doing. Go back there and check on those guys. So it's looking pretty good for this group. Because now Paul Buchanan's going to run up top, see if he can't make up some spots. See how fast he was able to. Maybe just trying to get a better position. We'll see if he fills down in front of Caleb McKinney here. He does not take that. Neither does Johnny Thunders. Wayne Garland's way out in front now. And now we have Corey Blevins popping out. So now we might have some guys that are trying to get out in front of Wayne here. Or maybe they're at a spot where they don't need to save fuel anymore. We're at lap 70. So if we were right, we should see guys start coming down here at about 5 laps or so. I don't know when Wayne's going to come down. Wayne's been pushing hard, and Cameron Combs have been pushing hard this whole run. So those 2 guys should be your first to have to come down pit road. Now, I don't know if they're going to have to. It depends on how good these guys have been saving fuel. Maybe they don't need to. But we'll just have to wait and see. Like everybody's stayed out so far, so I think I was right. Looks like Paul Buchanan and Corey Blevins were just trying to better their pit spot. As Cameron Combs is having a little better of a run, he might be able to clear. He is clear. Let's see if he slides down. He stays up top again. You have to wonder how long he's going to be able to do that. Looks like he's going to just try and see if he can't pull Casey Gross with him here. And there he goes down. There Casey goes. So that leaves Johnny Thunders out there all by his lonesome. Casey pops back up, though. He didn't want to leave him. Now they're kind of squirming everywhere. Let's go back. And there's your pits. Cameron Combs, 84. Wayne Garland, both of those guys have to come in this time by. Caleb McKinney comes in. And Michael Smith comes in. I think Wayne might have got caught speeding. We'll just have to wait and see. Let's see how much longer these guys can stay out. Sorry, that is the wrong camera. Dang camera guy. Caleb McKinney, Wayne Garland, Cameron Combs, Michael Smith all come in that time by. Looking like we might have a few more guys. Ooh, Alex Smith in the wall. Oh, Alex Campbell, excuse me. Wesley Triplett, Johnny Thunders, Casey Gross comes in that time by. As there's your second group. That's going to be a 3-car group right there. Just as this one's getting off. Looks like they're going to get off okay. They might leave Wayne Garland, though. Your leader right now is Paul Buchanan, Corey Blevins, Daniel Honeycutt, Alex Campbell, Jarrett Larder, Joshua Neal, Austin Smith, Brandon Puffenbarger, and Corey Kroll. Let's see if these guys come in this time by. This is lap 74. They should have to make it to 75 to really feel comfortable. Corey Blevins is going to come in. Daniel Honeycutt's coming in. Oh, no, I think both of them missed pit road. Daniel Honeycutt might have been okay. Corey Blevins is going to have to go all the way around. That really hurts his run. He's all the way down to 80 miles an hour. He's okay. He can go back out on the track here. He might be out of gas. I think Corey Blevins is out of gas. The rest of these guys should have to come in pretty soon. Jarrett Larder, Alex Campbell. It looks like everybody, for the most part, is going to come in this time by. Alex Campbell's hot. Oh, no, they're wrecking. Stay green. Stay green. Oh, the yellow's out. And the caution comes out. Now these guys just have to hurry on pit road, hurry off. And if they're lucky. All right, Corey Blevins might make it to pit road. As this might have been what the caution was for, honestly. As he is just trying to nurse that thing home. I don't think he's going to make it. We'll just have to wait and see. He's currently sitting at a breezy 15 miles an hour. And you think surely everybody comes back in here to top off. So, that's about as far as we could see. Oh, look at Corey Blevins. Or look at Corey Kroll. Corey Kroll is going to push Corey Blevins back to his pit stop. What a dude. What a guy, Corey Kroll. He thinks about going in and decides against it. So, I'm sure everybody comes back in here to top off, but as it runs right now, Paul Buchanan, Austin Smith, Joshua Neal, Brandon Puffenbarger, Alex Campbell, Corey Kroll, Wesley Triplett, Casey Gross, Cameron Combs, Caleb McKinney, Wayne Garland, Johnny Thunders, Jarrett Larder. Daniel Honeycutt. Looks like Daniel Honeycutt's going to be all right. Corey Blevins is... He better hurry up. It looks like he's about to go a lap down. And he's going to make it. So Corey Blevins is not going to go a lap down. We have just a few guys come in to top their cars off. Austin Smith, Paul Buchanan, Joshua Neal, Corey Kroll, Caleb McKinney. Everybody else stays out. Oof, I don't know about that. Like, you've got guys like Cameron Combs, Wayne Garland. Those guys pit on lap 72. I don't think they'll be able to make it back. As we come back to the choose cone, you see it there in the back. It looks like that outside line is going to be pretty heavily favored. And Austin Smith's falling back. Maybe he has an EOL. No, I don't know. I'm not really liking where our blimp is. I can't see anything. Let's go to the chopper. Terrible blimp. Somebody fire the blimp guy. All right, so just looking at trying to figure out if we have any lap cars here. Daniel Honeycutt's a lap down. Caleb McKinney's a lap down. Corey Blevins is a lap down. Michael Smith is in the pit lane. He's been in the pit lane for 6 minutes. But we're coming back to the green flag here. We have 3 cars on that top row. That's going to slide Corey Kroll all the way up to 6th place. And we're going to have a 38-lap shootout here. It's going to be close, guys. I don't know if any of these guys can make it. Looks like that time, I mean, Corey and those guys were able to just barely make it, but who's to say we even go green here? There's your green flag. Brandon Puffenbarger gets a good start. He's going to take your lead. Daniel Honeycutt's going to try and lead these guys so he can get back on the lead lap. Daniel Honeycutt, Caleb McKinney, Corey Blevins, all those guys are a lap down, so they should be fighting their way trying to get back up to the top. Austin Smith's going to try and send Daniel Honeycutt, keep him a lap down. Now, he is in the lucky dog spot, but he can still fight for a lucky dog position. Joshua Neal talking about how bad he needs a win, or how bad they need Austin Smith not to win. There's Corey Kroll trying to make a peek, but Daniel Honeycutt's trying to maintain that top line. Corey's going to go down to the bottom. Can't get too racy here, guys. We still have 36 laps to go. You have to make sure you have enough in the tank to make it. You would hate to get to a lap or two and run out of gas. Daniel Honeycutt doing everything he can to get that lap back. Other guys that are a lap downs, Corey Blevins. You see him trying to get up here to fight with Daniel Honeycutt. Caleb McKinney up here all the same. Caleb's just kind of hanging out, letting these 2 guys fight it out. Austin Smith goes up to top to block Daniel Honeycutt. It opens the bottom for Joshua Neal, but Corey doesn't. He's not down there to help. I just noticed something, and I'm so sorry. Looks like Wayne Garland's out of the gas. Johnny Thunders. Something might have happened back here. We've got a green flag. Let's go back and see what happened. Because I heard a lot of checkups. Ooh, that was close. So there's a checkup here. Everybody thinks there's going to be a wreck. What a great save. Now, unfortunately, he is going to lose the pack here. Paul Buchanan might lose the pack. Wesley Triplett, he needs to catch. Wesley's in second in your point standings behind Austin Smith, who's leading this race, still blocking Daniel Honeycutt. Daniel's one of the great drivers that's always up front fighting here. You do not want him on the lead lap fighting you for a win. And I've been reading this wrong, guys. We only have 23 laps to go. I thought it was 33 laps to go. Everybody should be good on fuel. So it's just a matter of making it to the finish. All cards out of the window. We've got 23 to go, coming to 22 to go this time by. And Joshua Neal's on the inside. He's in 5th in your standings. This would do numbers for his championship run. Austin Smith, your championship leader on the outside. Corey Blevins trying to poke his nose. Corey Blevins, Daniel Honeycutt are a lap down. Those are the 2 cars in 2nd and 3rd on that outside line. Austin knows how bad they want to get back on the lead lap. He knows they're going to give him good pushes trying to get him clear on the bottom. Joshua Neal needs that help from Brandon Puffenbarger and Corey Kroll. Alex Campbell looks like he's trying to decide where to go. He's going to take that top lane back there in 4th row. And there's a pretty good run from that outside. Looks like there's a little bit of a checkup towards the back. All these guys might be playing the numbers game. We look at Caleb McKinney back here. Caleb's a lap down. Cameron Combs pit lap on lap 72. So Cameron Combs, Wesley Triplett, Casey Gross, all those guys might still be saving fuel. Even Jarrett Larder pit on lap 75. Looks like he's your first guy that is definitely good. Wayne Garland's 72. There's the gap right there. Jarrett Larder's good. Wayne Garland it might have to save a little bit. We've got 20 laps to go. Big push on the inside from Corey Kroll. It's going to be a checkup. Looks like everybody makes it through okay, though. And there's your field. Looks like the top line's a lot better as that bottom lane checks up a little bit. There, you can't see anything. Big push from Wayne Garland to Alex Campbell. It's going to give another run. Daniel Honeycutt's going to give a big push to Austin Smith here, try and get him to go down. Doesn't quite, looks like Daniel Honeycutt tries to get that bottom line. He's not quite going to be clear. Joshua Neal just make a run on that bottom. He just doesn't have the help. You look at Corey Kroll and Brandon Puffenbarger. They're pretty ways back. That outside line's going to get a big run, but they've got Austin Smith, and Austin Smith's going to race this smart. He understands that those guys want to get back on the lead lap here. 18 laps to go. Surely it's only a matter of time before we see 3 wide action. And Corey Kroll might be trying to save some fuel, guys. So if I'm Corey Blevins here, I might be trying to squeeze down under Joshua Neal, so then I can fight for this lucky dog position. Daniel Honeycutt might be shooting the gap on the inside. Oh, he hits Austin Smith. Austin goes up. That bottom lane's super condensed. We look back. Daniel Honeycutt gets out of there. Corey Blevins out of there. That takes the lead away from Austin Smith. And now we look, and Corey Kroll's on the outside in front of Austin Smith. Brandon Puffenbarger a little bit sideways. He saves it. Joshua Neal on the inside. And there's Wesley Triplett. All of our championship guys are right here. Everybody wants to win this race going into Auto Club. Almost contact between Corey Blevins and Brandon Puffenbarger. That would have been terrible for Brandon Puffenbarger's championship hopes. It looks like he's going to be all right here. They get back going. Corey Kroll has a lead on both lanes. Let's see what he does here. Does he start trying to play where's the help lane? He goes up top. Now he's looking like he's going to have to stick up top going into 1 and 2. Doesn't quite get clear. Let's see what kind of help he gets. The help's there going down the backstretch. As they're pretty even the whole way through except for these top 3. Your top 3, top 4 is really where it matters. They've got about 3 cars on that top, and then it goes back to Wesley Triplett. Corey's going to get a little tiny nudge in the corner here. That should set up for a good run off this backstretch. Big push going to Joshua Neal. Jarrett Larder doing really good back there in 6th place. We look on further back, and it gets a little bit complicated. Drivers not knowing quite where they want to go. Looks like Alex Campbell's going to go to the bottom here, try and get in front of Daniel Honeycutt. Daniel said that was a little bit too close of a call for his liking. He's just kind of hang out. Right now, that means that lucky dog spot goes to Corey Blevins up there. He's helping out that top line. And we've got 13 laps to go. 13 to go. There's a big push from Austin Smith. Both these guys, Corey Kroll and Joshua Neal, are not quite in a must-win position, but they're in a really need-to-win position here. Corey Kroll's in 4th place. He is 13 points back, so this would mean that the max thing that he would have to make up going into the final race is 8 points. That's doable. Joshua Neal is right there with him, 9 points if he wins tonight's race. And that's assuming that Austin comes in 2nd. That help on that bottom starting to go away for Joshua Neal. They're going to have to come together. Corey Kroll's going to shoot the bottom here. A big run on the bottom. He might want to block that. He stays up top. And here comes the pushes. We've got coming to 10 laps to go this time by. Everybody needs to win going into Auto Club Speedway. This is Atlanta. Anybody can win. But it seems like we always get the guys who know what they're doing up here at the end. We've got 10 laps to go. Corey Kroll leading, just like he was in Talladega. He got turned late in Talladega, ended up finishing 3rd or 4th, I believe. Jarrett Larder's going to shoot him 3 wide on the bottom. Oh! Jarrett Larder, Brandon Puffenbarger get together. Looks like everybody saves it. What does that do for Joshua Neal? Joshua Neal has 0 help. Does Austin Smith shoot the gap on the bottom? He does not. No one's letting Joshua Neal in. He's going to fall. Cameron Combs is going to go to the bottom, fill in that line, give Joshua a big push here. Corey Blevins fills in that spot. That gets Joshua Neal really loose. And we look on further back, these runs are really going to start to form. Joshua Neal is going to get back up here. Brandon Puffenbarger is going to get back up there. Jarrett Larder, Alex Campbell, everybody's coming. We look up there to Wesley Triplett, 3rd on the 3rd row on the top line. A win here tonight would give him the lead going into Auto Club. See, looks like he thinks about taking out Austin Smith 3 wide there. Decides not to with 8 laps to go. Corey Blevins, the leader on the bottom row, is a lap down. He's a lap car. Cameron Combs is going to take it 3 wide. Oh, they touch! Joshua Neal goes sideways! Wesley Triplett! And the caution is out. And that is the one thing that could not happen for Joshua Neal. Let's go back and watch what happened. From what I saw, Cameron Combs took him 3 wide. And that hole just closed. So, you see right there, Joshua Neal starts to come up. And he just had no room to come up. That's going to do numbers for Joshua Neal. I'd say he might be out of the race. We go look at Wesley Triplett. Let's see how much damage he got from this. Oh, he might have some trouble. Jarrett Larder has some pretty good nose damage. As it looks like he's about to pit. Johnny Thunders is in the pits. We have quite a few cars pitting, actually. Looks like they might be coming to top off. Making sure they can make it to the end, just in case we go green-white checkered. This first run is probably going to be a green-white checkered. Might be a 3-lap run. Corey Kroll comes in the pits. Did he get any? Let's see. Maybe he was involved in that wreck. No, he wasn't. No, it's like he got through it completely clean. Casey Gross, Wesley Triplett, and Joshua Neal are going to be your main guys that were involved in that wreck, unfortunately. Yeah, he already is out. So that's going to put Corey Kroll in 6th place with plenty of fuel. Cameron Combs looks like he's going to try and stretch it to the end here. I don't know how much damage he has. No one really does. Casey Gross got a pretty good lick there. He's in 3rd. And I'm pretty sure he has some damage. Oh, yeah, he's got some damage on that truck. That he might have should have pitted there. Lucky Dog's going to go to Corey Blevins. He gets back on the lead lap. And look who is in the lead. Again, a win tonight would do numbers for that championship run. That would put him about 10 points ahead of everybody going into the last race. And Wesley Triplett is in some big trouble. Looks like he's coming out of the pits now. Most of the damage he obtained was going to be right there. We just can't quite see it. It's not quite close enough. There you go. You can see his car a little crumpled. But look at the chase. And it doesn't look too bad. He's got a little bit of rear end damage. We look at the front, and the front of that truck looks fine. So, I mean, right now, running back up to the pack, he's already at 157. So, I think Wesley Triplett might be all right here. Now, they're going to have, looks like they're coming to the green flag this time by, so it is going to be a 3-lap shootout. And that's just saying that big if, we get back. Casey Gross is going to be on the inside, so we saw how much damage he has. The other drivers probably don't know that. How good does Casey Gross fire off here? Does that cause a wreck? We'll have to wait and see. Austin Smith's going to have the lead. He's going to get the jump. And Casey Gross does have that damage. Guys, I don't think that Casey Gross is going to get off the line. I think that's going to be an issue. And it might take a while for it to be apparent to Brandon Puffenbarger and company. So, Brandon Puffenbarger, that's not going to be good news for him with 3 laps to go. As the pace truck gets off here, you see the restart zone coming into screen right now. There's the fire off. And it's looking like he's okay as of right now. Big run on that outside. Looks like Casey Gross is going to be okay. We'll see what Brandon Puffenbarger decides to do here. We'll have to wait and see when we get down that back stretch. Buchanan's out. Buchanan might be out of gas. And he pit last on lap 77. I think Buchanan's out of fuel, guys. And there you see that difference on Casey Gross. As Brandon Puffenbarger shoots down to the inside, we've got 2 laps to go. Austin Smith is in the lead. Alex Campbell. Big push from Alex Campbell coming Brandon Puffenbarger's way. Corey Kroll outside helping Austin Smith. Caleb McKinney in tow. Big push from Corey Kroll in the middle of the turn. Oh, and they're wrecking! Brandon Puffenbarger sideways. Alex Campbell sideways. Austin Smith. And the white flag. They saw the white flag. There's no caution. Who's going to win? Wayne Garland's in the lead right now. Jarrett Larder goes outside. Corey Blevins was the lap car. They're wrecking. Oh, Corey Kroll. Wayne Garland is going to win at the line. What a finish. Oh, Jarrett Larder was so close. It looked like there was some net code. There's your results, guys. Wayne Garland, Cameron Combs, Corey Blevins, Corey Kroll. Austin Smith goes all the way back up to 5th place. Casey Gross, Wesley Triplett, Alex Campbell, Joshua Neal, Brandon Puffenbarger, Jarrett Larder, Caleb McKinney, Daniel Honeycutt, Paul Buchanan, Johnny Thunders, Michael Smith. Wayne Garland wins the race. Let's go back and watch that last lap. If we can. All right, there's the checkered. So right here, what happens? See, on my screen, it looks like a little bit of netcode. Looks like Corey Blevins is going to go on the inside. He's going to poke his nose right there. Wayne Garland comes up, and that sends both of those cars sideways. Wayne Garland barely makes it through. Let's ride along with Wayne there just to see how close it was. Let's just ride along with this last lap. I mean, where was he? All right, this is coming to the last lap. Let's ride along with Wayne. Everybody, the C's part. Let's go back real quick. So Alex Campbell goes. Brandon Puffenbarger doesn't quite make it through the turn. And they'd already seen the white flag. So now it's a race. Wayne Garland decides to stay on the inside. And there's those two, and it was that close, guys. All right, well, Corey Blevins, Cameron Combs, and Wayne Garland are going to be your interviews tonight for your top three. Let's see if they're here. Bear with me here. I'm trying to get our app pulled up. Coming in third place tonight is going to be Corey Blevins in the 24 car. Corey, you got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Man, you were a lap down, and you stayed up there. You took the risk. Ended up getting back on that lead lap, and you came back and got third place. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, went 3 wide there at the very end of the race. I was trying to hang in there. I was trying to save fuel for a lot of the runs there, and got through most of the race fine. And then unfortunately, I missed pit road there, and that put me back a little bit. But to come back third, it's pretty good.
Yeah, ran out of gas. I thought, did you run out of gas?
I was, I ran out of gas the lap after, yes. And
Yeah,
that put
so
me a
you
lap
were like,
down.
we
Yeah.
checked on you, and you were rolling down in turn 4 about 15 miles an hour, and it looks like your buddy Corey Kroll came and covered you there.
Yeah,
He
they
pushed you
put
to the
Corey
pit
in
stops.
there. Yeah, I gotta give props to him. He gave me a little bit of help there. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in the running at all. So
But yeah, I mean, just looking at your view, going into that white flag, everybody starts wrecking in front of you, and the seas just part. It gives you a great run, and then you try and make a move there, and the doors just close, and you end up getting caught up in 3 and 4 there. But you were that close to winning tonight.
yeah,
I don't
I think it
believe.
was gonna be a 3 wide finish,
Yeah,
possibly.
yeah, for sure. It would have
Hopefully
been just
not
like the
wrecked.
Cup Series race. That would have been nice.
Yes, for sure.
And anyways, I don't believe you're in the running for the championship. I'll have to.
I'm not. I joined halfway through the season, so just trying to get the best runs I can and try to go for wins.
Hey man, well yeah, you're going for wins, and going into next season, if you're still coming out here, it'll be good to know kind of how everybody races and all that stuff. But
For
man,
sure.
you had a great race and you came back from some serious adversity. So props to you with that. Great job tonight. Before I let you go, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Keys Architects and Associates on my truck. Been with me since the beginning that I started iRacing. Been on iRacing for 10 years now, so it's pretty cool.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on the top three finish tonight. You did good, and we'll be excited to see you next week at Auto Club.
All right, appreciate the broadcast, my friend.
See you, man.
See ya.
And guys, bear with me. I'm gonna cut off here for a second and try and find your second place finisher, Cameron Combs. I'm not finding him right now. I'll be right back. All right. Well, we're not gonna be able to get an interview from P2 tonight. He left the chat, but that is gonna give us an opportunity to pull our first place finisher tonight of Wayne Garland. Wayne, you got it done. How do you feel?
Oh, amazing. That is probably one of the best races I've ever had.
Yeah,
Uh,
you come out here every week, and it seems like either something always happens, but tonight, man, they come into the white flag, the seas parted, and you were not gonna let it slide. You did what you needed to do there at the end, and I thought you were gonna wreck, but you just barely missed it, and you end up taking the checkered flag. It was a great run from you tonight. How do you feel about it?
it, I feel great. I appreciate the little bump I got from Cam Combs uh, going into turn 3 and 4. It actually kept me up inside Jared Latta, and that's the only way I got through. And then there was some more bumping and banging, and I don't know, the car wanted to stay where it was. uh, I'm just amazed that I got this winning.
Yeah, it was awesome. The first one's always a good one, and hopefully now that you have gotten that win out, you start getting more of them. So
Oh,
you had a great race tonight. You did everything you needed to do. You were up front battling the whole time. I was scared that you were going to run out of gas. You didn't. So it was just great run all night, man. You were up here battling, and then you ended up getting it at the end. So I think
yeah.
we actually said like halfway through, I was like, maybe tonight's the night that Wayne gets his win. So I'm glad you got your win, man. And before we go, is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to?
I just want to thank all of Mars for putting this on. Corey, Austin, Brandon, yourself for broadcasting it. Chance for doing the race control. Um, any of the sponsors, because I'm not used to being in victory lane, so I'm not sure who our sponsors are. And all the guys that come out here every week. Yeah, we have a couple of beefs here and there, but they're all great guys, and I love coming out and racing with them.
All right, Wayne. Well, again, man, we're super happy to see you in victory lane. It's good to finally get to talk to you, and hopefully we get to see you again next week.
Well, I'll be there next week. I want to go for the championship. So,
All right, Wayne. Well, best of luck to you, man, and we hope to talk to you again next week. Good win again tonight, and we'll see you
I
later.
appreciate it. I appreciate it, Nathan. Thank you.
And that was Wayne Garland, your first place finisher. What a good win for him tonight as we watch this burnout. One thing I'm going to try and do really fast is try and look at our updated standings because everything kind of went to whack there at the end. So let's see if I can't get this pulled up really fast. Just bear with me. Give me just a second. looks about. Ooh, it got a little bit closer. It's going to be interesting. I'm not going to say anything until I can get it pulled up for everybody. Give me just 1 second, guys. All right, and there it is. Here's your updated standings. So, you're looking like Austin Smith, Wesley Triplett, Corey Kroll, Brandon Puffenbarger, and Wayne Garland are your guys that still have a shot. Joshua Neal with that late wreck, unfortunately, that's going to probably put an end to his season, but he still has a little bit of a chance. As you said, Wayne, he's looking like he's going to be about 18 points back, so it's going to be really tough for him to get a win next week. But he's going to come out and he's going to try. Joshua Neal in the same shoes. Brandon Puffenbarger with what place did he finish tonight? Sorry, my wife's yelling. Brandon Puffenbarger finishes all the way back in 10th tonight with that late race wreck, and that puts him 11 points behind the leader, Austin Smith. That's going to be tough for him to make up. Corey Kroll right there with him. Corey finishes 4th tonight, but, that's 8 less points than he could have gotten, and that would have put him right in the running. That would have put him 2 points behind Austin Smith. Corey Kroll is going to be 11 points behind going into the championship weekend. So, really, it's looking like it's going to be, for the most part, a 2-car race. Wesley Triplett and Austin Smith going into the last race. Let's throw out some theoreticals here. It's golly, I want to say 40 points to the winner, 35 to second. So 40 points to the winner, 35 to second. That means that it would be a 5-point. That will put him at 143, and it's a 6-point. So if Wesley wins, Austin has to finish second, or the championship goes to Wesley. So really, both of those guys, everybody who wants to win this is really in a must-win with only a 6-point lead. Now, if Austin finishes, if Wesley finishes second, then that changes things, and that means that Austin will have to finish in the top 7 to win the championship. Corey, Kroll, Brandon Puffenbarger, those guys win the race tonight, then Austin and Wesley and, those guys will have to finish in the top 5. So, and really, if Corey wins the championship, or if Corey or Brandon Puffenbarger, they win the race next week, then Austin is the only one that really has to finish in the top 5. Everybody else they'd be in trouble. So, Wesley, Corey, Brandon, all of those guys are now really in a must-win position. Austin Smith has the best. It's really, I think it's going to be in between Corey and Brandon. Those guys are must-win. Austin and Wesley is going to be a race. So Austin, as long as he does everything good, he can finish up here all the time. I mean, look, the guy has 11 races this season, 10 top 10s, and 9 top 5s. So as long as he races like he usually does, he should be good. But you never know what's going to happen. He usually does. I think he's going to be doing good at Auto Club. But we won't know until we get here. And with that being said, that's going to end our broadcast tonight. Next week is championship week, so make sure you tune in for that. We'll be covering it flag to flag. We'll even do a little bit of practice to reiterate some of the things we just said. So we're looking forward to it. And let's go watch us a championship next week. Everybody have a good week. We'll see you then.